Hello. Last week, Friday, we went to IDEO down in Chicago, and the few things that initially stood out to me when we were there was the instant, easygoing atmosphere. Everything was very nonchalant when we got up there. Got greeted casually right away, and when we were going throughout the tour, the lady that was giving us a tour knew everyone's first names. And I guess that's kind of a thing that should probably happen when there's only 65 people working in that branch. It's easier to attain everyone's first name. But still, it was nice to know that everyone knew each other, like an acquaintance form. And another thing that I noticed was everything was very disorganized. Maybe it wasn't disorganized to them, but everything was just so sporadic, like their decor and things like that. And then when we got upstairs, it was very confusing when we got up there because first of all you got to take that winding staircase that you went up and then you went down and then you went up to get into that lounge, which if you were just a stranger first time going there like we were, you wouldn't know where to go if they said go to the second floor lounge, which we didn't know where to go. And everything was just very closed off up there, which I guess it was kind of a more private area for private meeting spaces. They also had that telephone booth system set up with all the different cool themes and things like that. That was very neat. Second thing that stood out to me was the decor. It was very wacky. I like that they took the old existing building and put new modern things into it, like the just the styling of the branch. And I like how they kept like the old beams exposed, the exposed brick, the old windows and things like that. It's like a restoration hardware type thing. I also liked how they used their old inventions or current inventions and prototypes as like conversation starters that they like placed on shelves, or like the bookshelves that they had in that area. On top of the shelves they had all their like inventions and things like that. The third thing that stood out to me was the huge kitchen. The kitchen took up a huge part of their office space, but it was also a place where people can work, eat, and socialize all at the same time. So I can probably consider it like a flex space where you can manipulate the layout of the kitchen. Besides the kitchen part with the island, there was like that board where you could put sticky notes and things like that. So someone could have like a very casual meeting within that kitchen area, or they can go off into the corner and just go on their laptop and do what they have to do. And there was also a lot of televisions in that space, so it was just kind of a big old common space where you can do anything that you wanted. Plus there's food and drinks, which is nice. I also like that there was the refreshments in all the private meeting rooms upstairs and downstairs. It's kind of nice that they look beyond like the comfortable fact that they put like refreshments and snacks into it to make people feel more at home, and they don't have to go out of their way if they're hungry or snack, if they need a drink, something like that. They can just go to the corner to the serving cart. The fourth thing that stood out to me was the outdoor deck on top of the first floor, or the top floor of the building, and I liked that. I liked that there was a garden up there, added that green space, that life up there in such a big metropolitan area. It's nice to see green things. Also, the view up there was very nice. I see all the skyscrapers and things like that. But I also like that they used the space to, it's very versatile. They have movie nights up there, like after work, which is nice for like employee communication and hanging out and things like that. And they also have you could use that as a meeting space. They had many tables, chairs up there. Like we did at the end, we met up there just to talk about anything. And I'm guessing that's what they use the space mostly for. Or, oops, iPad falling. Other things too, like if you need a break from work, need some fresh air, you can go outside, and it's very convenient. You don't have to go down all the 8 floors down to the first floor and go outside. So it's another convenience thing. Speaking of convenience, my last thing that I'm focusing on is convenience. It seemed that IDEO really wanted to focus on the convenience of things to make work so much more smooth for their workers. And like the office supplies, like they only needed a computer / laptop and or their cell phone to do what they needed to do at their job. which that cuts down on costs, which is it was very cost effective. Just to have that, they don't need like a lot of different supplies and things like that. And I also like that the employees could move where they wanted to work. So they didn't have a designated permanent working space. They could just freely move throughout the building where they wanted to use the common spaces or reserve a private meeting space for their work that they needed to do. I also like that for the convenience part, Apple products were used throughout the branch. I don't know if that's why, because they invented their first mouse or whatever, but Apple products are very user friendly, therefore it adds to the convenience of everything of working there. And the last convenience factor is back to like the refreshments and snacks in every room. It's very convenient for them to have those there while they're meeting. They don't have to interrupt anything or take a break to go get something to eat or to drink. It's all right there for them. To the other part of the thing was the tour guide standouts. The first tour guide standout to me was the project table that was on the main floor, the first floor of IDEO. She mentioned that it wasn't enclosed due because people can see what other people are working on. It gets them other people inspiration. It adds to the communication among employees and things like that. And she said that most of places like IDEO or any other innovation firm, most of the project tables are kind of like in a closed off room without any windows or anything like that. It's more like a cave, and they really wanted to focus on that. They didn't want to put this in the cave to add to the openness of the office and things like that. So that's one thing that kind of stood out to me. Second thing was one of their innovations, the Peruvian school system, which was completely amazing to me. They developed a school system to aid the middle class of Peru to make it affordable and a great education system for those people. And it's crazy that they're building 70 plus schools around the country, which it's cool to think that IDEO can do such small scale things to like making Apple's first mouse to such widespread things like in a country like Peru, which is a medium to large size country, and to make a full school system for their people. That's amazing to me. The third thing that stood out to me for the tour was the movie nights, and she mentioned that alcohol is allowed, which is nice. I guess it gets people more relaxed, and I guess if people drink, I don't know, people when they drink alcohol, they're more able to talk to other people, so that adds to like the communication and employee relationships. It's nice too that they can show the movies outside on their deck. I like that they can use their outdoor screen that they put up there. No, it's a nice place to put it. And it promotes employee bonding. And also with employee bonding, they also do like their dress up days where they had in that like wasted space that they had behind the stairs there to get up to that lounge. They had the dressing room that they call it. They had tons of different costumes that they did, and they just kind of freely play with them to get, I don't know, inspiration or whatever. And the other thing with employee bonding was the weekly competitions that they have during lunch. Like when we were there, they did the Halloween mask thing. They got whatever material to use, and they made the mask. And the other thing that they did was like that clay bust thing that they made. They blindfolded them there to make that celebrity. I forget who it was, but I thought that was very cool that they included all their employees to making, or whoever wanted to participate at least. That was neat. The fourth thing was the dead space underneath the stairs. I like that they took that space because it would be wasted. You can't really use it for anything, and you have to crawl under there in the first place. So they made it like a fort. Like when we were little kids, we would take like blankets and chairs and make a fort. That's kind of what they did with the stairs. It's a nice place where if you need to relax or get out of the workplace and kind of go away, it's a nice place to go relax and kind of whatever, do what you need to do. And I like that they brought students in and they asked them, oh, what should we do for this? And let's make a fort. I thought that was kind of cool. And then the last part of it was our insights. My first insight is the work environment at IDEO represents the individual personalities that contribute to the innovations that are conducted at IDEO. The second one is the large common work areas on both floors, including the rooftop deck, create a sense of community and a catalyst for worker-to-worker relationships. And the third insight is, at IDEO, convenience is a major player for making work easier for their employees. This is why there is a kitchen, minimal office supplies needed, and Apple products used wisely. So.